Today I'm gonna teach you the 5 mistakes that you are doing with your nanoplasty to not achieve the OMG effect. Welcome to this SOS FLORA. This live happens every Tuesday and Thursday, 12 p.m. Today a little bit late. My name is MJ, I'm a nanoplasty specialist, and today I'm gonna teach you 5 things that you are doing wrong on your nanoplasty. The first one is how much product you are applying on the application. This hair is a very challenging hair, as you can see. I'm going to show you a little bit of this hair. So we left the product on for 1 hour and 10 minutes. After the 1 hour and 10 minutes, we rinsed it out the hair, almost everything, so you can see that the hair is clean and it doesn't feel greasy on my hands. Then after that, the next process now is blast dry, obviously using a good heat protector. And after the blast dry, we're gonna use the iron. And as this hair is very curly on the roots, I need to use tension. So I need to use something to hold the strands. Can you see that this hair clamp holds the hair and gives the tension that I need? So I'm using 230 on her. I believe that I'll have to go 250 because her hair is quite curly on the roots. And also a very, very good tip that I can do for you. Can you move the phone closer, Isa, so you show like with your hand? Yeah. You need to see this shine and glossy look on the hair. I know that a lot of you have this result with a lot of products, but this gives me the assurance that when I wash this hair, I'm gonna have very similar results to this. I'm gonna go a little bit higher just to test if I can go higher on her hair, just to make sure that once I wash this hair, the roots will not be curly. So I'm gonna go a little bit higher and I'll see how the hair will respond to a hotter temperature. If you are not using this clip when you were doing your nanoplasty, there is a great chance that when you wash the hair, the roots, especially the roots, will not be straight. Why it's making so much steam, MJ? First of all, we had to apply a lot of products to hydrate this hair because the hair texture is quite dehydrated. So we had to use a few products to make this hair quite hydrated, so then we don't dehydrate the fiber while we're using the iron. So now I'm gonna go here, passing the straightener, holding the straightener with the brush. And a very, very important tip. Are you using moringa oil between the passes of the straightener? If you are not, I'm sorry. I can't guarantee that your ends will be very hydrated and heavy when you finish. So you pass just a little bit of moringa oil and you pass the straightener on top. What about this steam? It's normal. It's the contact of the product with the straightener. Then if you feel that the roots are not too straight, you go back to the roots a little bit, especially because you've got a lot of baby hairs. I'm just making sure that all the baby hairs are straight, holding with my hand, which is quite hard in that temperature. But look at this shine. Let's compare with the other hair. Look that difference. So let's do another strand. You shouldn't do very thin strands. That's another problem. So that's the second problem. Let's count the issues. The first one, you didn't use enough product. OMG, I don't know how much product should I use. First of all, if someone has a really sensitive skin, best way for you is you're gonna use a comb on the sections. You know, you're gonna pass the product and you're gonna use the comb. OMG, but I heard you saying that there is no need of using the comb. Yes, it's not compulsory to use the comb. If you have to, you can. So you pull the product away from the roots. That's number one. Second, how much product you are applying on the hair. You need to make the hair fiber saturated because you're gonna go with a lot of heat and you want to make sure that you're not going to dehydrate this hair. So I apply a good amount of product on her hair, left it on for 1 hour and 10 minutes. So on her was a bit longer than the average just because her curls are quite intense and I wanted to make sure that her hair will be very straight after the nanoplasty. So that's the second thing. Amount of product, it needs to be a proper amount. So the hair needs to feel wet. What about MJ when I tap the hair and I feel that the hair is a bit dry even after the application of the Nanoplasty? So a really good tip is reapply a little bit of product on top. You can reapply the product on top just to make sure that you are making this hair hydrated. So another thing is, how much should I rinse? A lot of people feel scared of how much they rinse on the hair. But let me tell you something. When you are doing Nanoplasty, the product is already inside of the hair. What you leave on the outside, it's pretty much just enough to make the hair hydrated. And look at this shine. Look at this shine. Oh, it looks so glossy. I do it and I'm impressed. Another thing that I see a lot of people doing wrong is the tension. Tension, I think it's the #1 issue. If you don't have tension, especially for this hair type, it will be very hard for you to get the roots straight. And if you need to go back to the roots, just hold the hair and then get a little bit closer to the roots. So you don't get that 1 centimeter of hair not straight. Also, the thickness of the sections. Can you see that my sections are quite thick? And why I do that? First, I do that because I use the brush. So the brush gives me the security that I'm holding everything. See? So there is no one space that it's missing on the brush. Second, I'm using 250, which is the hottest temperature on the straightener. I shouldn't be using very little amount of hair because I don't want to break, I don't want to create dehydration on this fiber. So I'm holding the head together and I'm using the straightener a few times. See that I don't need to use the straightener several times, especially because I'm in the hottest temperature on the straightener. And second, because the hair is responding very well only with a few passes. So I don't need to go and do 15 passes on this hair. Some hairs will require a little bit more, but this hair type specifically, it's not asking for it. So that's why it's a very unique application for every person. And the moringa technique, that it's just amazing, especially for the ends, so we don't create that dehydration. And then I go back here. Can you see that the roots are a bit curly? So I go back to the roots. I hold the hair with my hands because I'm not doing the ends. Make sure that every single inch of this hair will be straight, and she will have more free time. Done. I don't need to get all the hair back. And look at this shine, guys. This is so beautiful. Our hair's gonna look amazing. Then another mistake that a lot of people do, at the end of the application, they don't wash the hair. Oh, I don't think I need to wash the hair. My client needs to go. They've got kids, blah, blah, blah. I understand. But you would never let any one of your clients go if they had color on the hair. Would you ask your client to wash the hair at home if they had color? Oh, yeah, honey, that's fine. After picking up the kids at school, you wash the hair at home. You would never say that. You say, I'm so sorry, you can't go. I have to wash your hair. Or you organize a time to make sure that you're going to have enough time to wash the hair after. So there is a few things that you guys need to be aware. It's important to wash the hair at the end. We use a lot of heat. We change the pH of the fiber. So it's important for us to make sure that we are going to finalize this hair with a proper care, giving to this hair a lot of nutrients for the hair, continue having this feeling of a hydrated fiber. I don't know if I'm in front of you guys, but okay. I'm quite getting close to the roots, making sure that I don't overpass this straightener in this temperature on her hair. but make all the passes evenly, especially on the ends, because I feel that when the hair is curly from the top to the bottom, what happens sometimes is I see people concentrating very well on the roots and then kind of lose, you know, the strength on the hands in the middle and on the ends. And then they don't have a consistent results from top to bottom. Isa, can you see if there is any question? Once you can.
No.
No? So let's just recap the 5 issues that you are probably doing on your nanoplasty. First, if you are washing the hair prior to the application of the nanoplasty, that's where it starts the problem. If you have a nano solution, why you need to clarify shampoo the hair? To make this hair, the cuticles of this hair stretched for the nanoplasty flew out. Oh?
Eu mudei alguma coisa aqui.
Filter? Maybe.
Tá cheio de quadradinho.
Oh? I think it was the filter. Okay, so it was the filter. Oh, no, okay. Okay, done.
Good.
I went back. First, no clarifying shampoo. You understood that, right? There is no need of clarifying shampoo in a nano solution. Second, you need to apply enough product, especially if you are planning to use a lot of iron on the hair after the nanoplasty. Third, you are going to rinse this hair well because you don't want to create a very steamy and very uncomfortable place for you and for your clients. Fourth, you are going to use tension to make sure that you have the roots straight, especially if you are dealing with a very, very curly hair. And fifth, you are going to wash this hair at the end to equalize the pH and make sure that your client receive a proper treatment after the nanoplasty, especially after using this amount of heat. So if you are doing any one of those mistakes, it might be the reason why you are not achieving the OMG effect. If you guys have any question, you can send a DM message for us and my team are going to be able to assist you. I hope you enjoyed this live where I'm showing the details of the application of the nanoplasty in this very challenging hair. And you will see on the stories the final wash for this amazing hair type. See you guys on the next live. Bye.